Hello, everyone. I'm Steve DiMeglio, senior golf writer with Golfweek in USA Today, and I am ecstatic to be joined by Brandt Snedeker, 9-time PGA Tour winner, also won on the European Tour. In 2012, he won the FedEx Cup and the Tour Championship. Two-time member of the USA Ryder Cup team, also played in the President's Cup team. The guy plays fast, swings fast, and walks and talks fast. But before we get to talking about this Snedeker, I want to talk about another Snedeker. I want to talk about Austin Snedeker. I heard he delivered a big moment in golf just recently. Sneds, tell me about it.
Yeah, little man had his first hole in one 2 days ago. So our household is pretty jacked up right now. He is, it's a par three course called the Little Course here in Nashville. And last hole of the day, we had played a turn in the morning and he had played really good, had a blast, and was just so excited about how good he played. He wanted to play some more golf. So he went out there in the afternoon, and last hole, he had a pitching wedge from 60 yards that, absolutely flushed it right at it and went in the hole. And it's got it's got the little foam things in the bottom of it right now because of all the COVID stuff. But as a professional golfer, I can attest it would have gone in anywhere. So it was awesome for him. He was so jacked up and so excited. I was excited for him. I'm jacked up about it. So, and he's got me beat. I haven't had a hole in one since he's been born. So he's one up on me right now.
Well, did he buy you a drink?
He was worried about it because he didn't have any cash on him. So I said I'd spot him this time, but next time they're on him.
So that was a great moment during this difficult times we're dealing with. How have you been dealing with the quarantine time?
It's been trying to find the positive in any kind of situation. And for us as professional golfers, and Steve, as somebody who travels a lot, it's been nice to be home and be around my family and be around my kids and kind of be a dad. I think you find new appreciations for things in life through tough times, through trying times. I think I can speak for a lot of America, and I've found a new appreciation for all the teachers in this country and what they deal with on a daily basis, because I am not a teacher by any stretch of the imagination, but it was a tough couple of months for me being a homeschooling dad. So I think we all owe them a huge debt of gratitude, along with the frontline workers, obviously the nurses and the doctors out there trying to help us through this. But those teachers put up with a lot of stuff that I don't have the patience for. And so, that being said, it's been fun to be home with the kids and be a dad and let them know kind of what it's like to have mom and dad around all the time. And it's been a lot of quality time together. So it's been good.
So right now, I've been told that you plan on playing the first two, Colonial and Heritage. How are you going to start gearing up?
I've been practicing, getting ready. So game feels good. I started getting ready about 3 weeks ago, and I think we're all just kind of unsure of what's going to look like. It's going to be a weird feeling that first week back out, but I think we as a sport are probably the ones that can do it the safest and the best for our country to get back out first and get playing again. I think it's time for us to try. We've done it. The tour's done a great job and kind of setting up a plan that we think is going to work, that can hopefully keep everybody safe, get us back to playing golf, getting golf on TV, and kind of filling a void right now in the American landscape, which is getting sports back on TV. So I'm excited about it. I think most of the guys on tour are excited about it. I think we all realize how lucky we are to do what we do for a living, and realize that maybe retirement's not all it's cracked up to be. Being home all the time is a little bit different.
Neds, during this time, unfortunately, you've dealt with a lot of different injuries over the years. Has this time off given you time to heal, get healthy, and how are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel great. Body feels really good. It has given me some time to heal, which has been nice. As I've gotten older, body doesn't feel as great as it used to, and having a few months off where, for the first time in my career, we really didn't have a restart date. I didn't really know when we were going to be playing golf again. So I took probably 6 weeks off where I didn't touch a club. I was really home and just trying to get my body right, worked out a lot, did a lot of things to get my body where it felt a lot better. And so I'm excited about getting back out on the road and playing again and playing a lot of golf. It seems like our schedule's going to be a lot more condensed now for the rest of the year. And that's exciting because that means there's a lot of big golf left and a lot of opportunities to go out there and win some golf tournaments.
Well, you're one of the best putters that has ever walked this planet. How does one keep that great putting stroke when you're quarantined at shelter at home?
That's the one thing I've been able to do pretty easily. I think most people have been doing a lot of is putting in their house, And so I've got a few little putting mats that I have in my house that I've kind of gotten on every day and probably done for 20 or 30 minutes just to keep myself somewhat accustomed to being a golfer again. And it's the one thing that obviously I'm pretty good at. And one thing I kind of know what I need to do. So I've got a few training aids I use on that putting mat. I probably putt it for 15, 20 minutes a day and just trying to stay somewhat in the midst of playing golf again. I've got a simulator in my house. I've been able to hit some balls on that kind of stuff when we were going through the worst of the COVID shutdown, where the golf courses here are closed and there wasn't really much open. So I was able to kind of do what I wanted to if I wanted to. So it hadn't been affecting me too much. But the stroke, I think it's the one thing about my stroke is so odd, so different in the fact it's kind of more of a pop stroke. It doesn't really leave me as much. I don't have as many mechanical thoughts going on. So it tends to come back pretty quick.
Well, what do you think will take the longest to get back?
Just the competitive edge. That's the one thing you lose, I think. It's, we can go on the range and pick that up pretty quickly. It's the getting into a golf tournament mode where you're really trying to shoot a score. The thought process is that the quarter, half shots you got to hit, the certain lies that you're not used to getting or whatever it may be. Those little things take back just being in competition, the rust of being in competition. So I'm sure lots of guys have been home trying to recreate that with money games or competition with their buddies or whoever it may be. So I've been kind of amping that up the last few weeks as well, just trying to get some pressure on myself, see how I'm handling it, see if what I'm working on is working under pressure. And then, once you get on tour, it's going to ramp up even a little bit more from there. So just making sure that you're ready in every way you can. And then hoping once you get there that it'll hold up to tour pressure and not just at home pressure.
Okay, well, I want to get back to your putting stroke, and I want to set this up. I was there at East Lake Golf Club, 2012 Tour Championship, and you chipped in on 17. Great chip in. But I'd like to know, what is it like to make a putt for $10 million on that 18th
Well, it was,
hole?
it's one of those things where I was so worried about the tee shot because I had a 4-shot lead on that last hole on that par 3. I'm like, you know what? The only way I can really mess this up is if I chunk this in the water. And the water is literally 100 yards off the tee. It should not be in play at all, but literally that's what crossed my mind. So I took a hybrid and teed it up really high and made sure I didn't chunk it. And then, luckily having that kind of lead made the last hole a lot more enjoyable. But that's one of those things, you really don't think about it at the time. You're just trying to do your best, win a golf tournament, and worry about that later. But it did hit me when I had about a 2-footer for bogey to win by 2 or 3 or whatever it was. And I knew I couldn't mess it up. And it was great fun just to be able to get it done and have a W on that golf course.
Well, I wanted to ask you, did you watch the match number 2 this past week, Tiger and Phil against Peyton Manning and Tom Brady?
I did watch it. Yeah, I thought it was great. It was a lot of fun to see those guys out there playing and competing. I was more interested in watching Tom Brady and Peyton Manning play because I wanted to see how they handle it. I couldn't imagine the nerves they had for, it's one thing to go out there and do something you're great at, like play football in front of millions of people and know that you're prepared and you're ready to go. To go out and play something that's not your first given sport, that you're just not naturally gifted at, is totally different. So, you're really exposing yourself to a lot of criticism and a lot of people giving you a hard time about it. So I was really impressed with how they both played, how they both handled it. It was really fun to watch. I thought it was great for golf, and it's a good way to kind of see live sports back on TV.
Well, if you were in charge and if you want to put yourself in it, you could put yourself in it. Who would be the 4 competitors for match 3?
Match 3. I think you got to have MJ in there. He's so big right now after the Last Dance documentary just went on. I think he'd be great guy to have in that match as well. As far as a 4th, maybe a guy like Justin Timberlake, maybe getting out of sports. He's a superstar in that aspect. Justin's a big golfer. I think he'd bring a lot of fans in. He'd be nervous, get him out of his element a little bit. And then, when it comes to golfers, you can't really beat Tiger or Phil. Maybe get Rory and Dustin or Brooks and I don't know who else. One of those top 5 guys, So those kind of guys in there. I think they could be fun to have multiple matches going on. I thought there's there's a little bit of dead time in between some of those shots that maybe you can fill up if there's two matches going on at the same time. So that'd be a lot of fun, maybe something to do in the future.
And one thing that I always like to do when I do certain fun interviews, all the players love to talk about the Masters, and I always get great stories when I ask people about Tiger. When was the first time you played with Tiger, what it was like, and what was it like to play and battle him? And I know you were in final group quite a few times, including at Augusta on the final day, including BMW Championship, the Open Championship. But for those who, when he was really good, really, really, really good, 2008, 2007, you battled him in 2010 and onward. How good was Tiger, and what was it like to play with him?
I tell these guys, all these young guys all the time, I say, man, we want to see Tiger at his best. And I tell them, you don't. You really don't, because you couldn't beat him. There's no way. It wasn't even close. And I didn't see Tiger in 2000, 2001, 99 when it was just beating everybody by 20 shots. I saw him in 07, 08, 09 when he was all beating us by 10. So the first time I played with him, I played in the last group of the BMW Championship in 2009. He won by 8 shots. He had a 7-shot lead going into Sunday. And the first time you play with him, you're just in awe. You see this bigger than life figure in your head, this iconic sportsman. And then you get out there and you start playing with him and you realize he's a totally normal, nice guy. There's nothing, he's not out there trying to be mean to you or not talk to you or whatever. He's just so focused on what he's doing. And that's the one that's away from him. He was a joy to play with. And he also, when you play with him for the first time, you realize just how good he is and how methodical he can play a golf course and hit all these shots the exact right way you're supposed to hit them. Especially that day I was so impressed with. He had an 8-shot lead and he just picked his way around the golf course, hit every shot with a lead the way you're supposed to, middle of the green, take bogey out of play, hit these unbelievable shots, made some couple recoveries from a couple bad tee shots, but just played so strong all day. And since then, I played with him a lot more and getting to know him more. And you just realize, how calm he always seemed like in the pressure when the situation's mounted. It seemed like he slowed down and just really was uber calm, uber confident things were going to turn out the right way. I always took that, never seen another player like that. And typically when things get going, guys get really amped up, they're fired up. Tiger almost slows down to a crawl in the sense that it's like his blood pressure, everything just kind of relaxes and he's in his element, So I've always been so impressed by that. And just the ability to hit shots after shot after shot under pressure. It's just so hard to do. It's just the hardest thing to do in golf is to hit quality shot after quality shot after quality shot coming down the stretch and not miss it where you can make a bogey. And he just does that time after time. It's just so impressive.
Well, Sneds, I know one thing for sure. I've never done a bad interview with you. This was another great time with you, Sneds. I hope to see you down the road. Play well at Colonial. And thank you very much, big man.
Anytime, Steve. I'll see you at Hilton Head. Stay safe. Get out and play some golf. Enjoy it while you can.
Stay healthy, big man. Thank you.
All right. See you.